Hello, hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Eva and today I'm here to share with you my real life creepy stories. It involves a lot of creepy men, so yeah. If you are one of my Instagram friends, thank you so much once again for your continuous support. It means honestly, literally the world to me. And if you're coming from somewhere else, thank you for clicking onto this video. So last week I posted a video where I shared some of my Instagram creep stories. And in that video, I kind of promised that I'm going to share some of my real life creep stories. Unfortunately, I have a handful of them. I seem to attract these kind of men. I'm not looking forward to sharing these. However, I think there is a really big lesson to be learned because 2 out of 3 of these stories ended up escalating because I didn't want to make a scene. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that sharing these is maybe going to help at least one or a few people to be able to recognize, okay, so this is literally sexual harassment, or okay, this is literally so creepy, I should run. It takes a toll on you emotionally having to recall these kind of things, but yeah, a very valuable lesson can be learned from each and every one of these stories. So yeah, I'm gonna share 3 of them. There's 4 pages of notes here. I did not want to miss a single detail while telling these. So yeah, let's get into the stories. Okay, so the first story happened with someone who was actually my co-worker. I'm not gonna be saying his name because some of the people that might watch my videos probably know him. I worked as a shop assistant. I was 23, I think, at this point. Back in the day, I used to be very shy. I was also kind of socially anxious. I still kind of am, but I'm kind of getting out of my comfort zone. I literally only came to Ireland a few months before I started working in this shop, so I didn't really have any friends yet. So this guy worked in the warehouse on the same shop floor. So whenever I would go to the stock room, he would be there. It was like literally a tiny stock room. So we would kind of, joke around, start talking, whatnot. I was just being friendly. I literally never ever gave any signals. I wasn't looking for a relationship. I literally just wanted friends. So yeah, I was just being friendly. We had a common interest, which was video games, and he was all like impressed that I am a girl gamer or whatever. I'm not a gamer. I'm literally such an amateur. I've only played like old RPGs, and if I can, I'm going to play with cheats and I'm going to play on easy mode, so I don't really consider myself a proper gamer. But anyway, so video games were our common subject. We both liked Final Fantasy series very much, especially the older ones. 9, 10, hello, best Final Fantasy ever. Like I said, I wanted a friend. I didn't give him any signals, but I did exchange my phone number with him because I wanted to chat to him on WhatsApp and stuff like that. Of course, after, I don't even know if this was the same night after I gave him the number or a few days afterwards, he started basically sexting me. Soon after this, the pics came along. I never asked for this. I did not want to see this. This was literally, I remember he just wrote out of the blue, I have something to show you, and that, that emoji that's like, and I knew what's coming because he was kind of trying to flirt with me. But I thought he was kind of cute in the beginning, but when he started like aggressively kind of like flirting and kind of like pushing the flirty conversations, that was a big turnoff for me. So this was like, I was like so at this point when he said, I have something for you with that emoji, I knew what was coming. I literally wrote to him, no, like, please don't. Boom, picture, a D pic. So I kept saying like, why are you sending me these? I literally said I didn't want to see them, and he kept saying, oh, but you turn me on so bad, like I'm so into you. It was clear what he wanted, and yeah, I just wasn't into it, and he wouldn't take no for an answer. He kept trying to sext me, flirt, sent another few pictures as well, and I was just deleting them straight away. I just didn't want to see this. Like, so the awkward thing about this is we were literally working on the same floor most days, not just the same shop, it was literally the same floor. So anytime I would go into the stockroom, he would be there. Now, Just a side note, no matter how awkward it might be, if you are getting sexually harassed by your coworker, you need to go to the HR and you need to make him stop. You need to do something about this because this is not okay. At the beginning, even if I gave him my phone number because I wanted to chat, I thought he was cute. However, I changed my mind because he was way too aggressive. He was literally sending me unwanted naked pictures. You have the right to change your mind. You don't have to put up with sexual harassment. No matter if it's workplace, anywhere else, no. Just go and speak to someone. And that was my biggest mistake with this first story. Well, I made a few big mistakes regarding this story, but yeah. Anyway, so the sexting, texting, D-pics, whatever, it all progressed into him bugging me at work. In the text, he would always be like, oh, so you can come over and we're gonna play video games. But he's sending me D-pics all the time. Like, it's obvious he doesn't want to play video games with me. So I will never forget this one time. There was a group of guys who worked in the stockroom and he was in the group. There was like 5 or 6 of them and I was just minding my own business, looking for something through the boxes. And this guy walks over to me and says very loud, so when are you coming over to my place? Why would I come over to his place? I was never at his place. I never intended to come to his place. I never told him that I would come to his place. I never ever said this. So obviously he just wanted to be cool in front of his coworkers, the other dudes, and he wanted them to think that, you know, him and I are a thing or whatever. I don't know what I'm not even halfway through my notes, so it gets a lot worse. Like I said, one big mistake on my side is that I did not go to HR. I did not say anything. I did not stand up for myself. And this was purely because I was shy and I just couldn't do, like, I didn't want to make a scene. I just wanted him to go away, but obviously being polite sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes you have to be rude. Sometimes you have to go and tell someone that they are bugging you. So we went back and forth. Like I said, he was a co-worker, so I wanted to avoid the awkward situation so bad, so I kept replying to his messages. I remember he would send me messages where he's saying like, I don't understand, how can you just change your mind? This is so concerning. Like, how can you just change your mind? People change their minds all the time. What are you talking about? So anyway, after a few weeks, he comes up to me, says, oh, hey, I've been seeing someone this whole time, actually. Apparently, she had a boyfriend and they were a thing as well. I don't know if the boyfriend knew or if she was... whatever. It was something complicated, but he was telling me they've been seeing each other for so long and he loves her and she decided that she's going to break up with her boyfriend and they are going to be exclusive. So me being naive and wanting to believe that people are actually nice, I believed him. So he kind of just started talking about games with me and everything was okay. Finally, no flirting, no inviting me to his place. We were just talking about games. So he ended up asking me to go for a drink with him. I said no at first because I still wasn't sure. I wanted to believe him, but I wasn't sure. So I kept saying no. He kept asking every once in a while. And after like 3 or 4 times that I said no, I felt really bad. So I said, okay, fine. And he said himself, I promise you, this is just a friendly drinks. Friendly. This was the worst thing ever. He literally wouldn't stop touching me. His hands were on my knees, on my legs. He was trying to hug me. He was trying to kiss me. He was in my face the whole time. He even blew in my ear, but it was like a... He wouldn't take his hands off of me. Like I said, he was always in my face, just like trying to kiss me. And I was like, you know, like... I could have gotten up, I could have walked away, but I'm pretty sure he would follow me. This man does not know how to accept no for an answer. And this is the worst kind of man that you can get involved with. He just couldn't see how can a girl change her mind. Like I said, I was shy, I was very anxious, and I did not want to cause a scene in a public place. So he finally drinks his beer and I'm like, I need to go catch my bus. And he's like, oh wait, I'll walk you to your bus station. I'm not joking. He was literally walking into me the whole freaking way. He was just trying to kiss me while I was walking. I was standing waiting for the green light. He was literally in my face, just like being, oh come on, just one kiss or what. Oh, it was so disgusting. Honestly, there was a person passing by at the other side of the road and he literally stopped and looked at us, but unfortunately the person just kept walking, so he did not save me. I should have said something. He would probably get beaten up or something. Mind you, this dude literally walked over to our date holding hands with the girl that he said he loved, and they're being exclusive together. I was literally waiting for him and I saw him holding hands with this girl and they kissed in the lips and she just went off and he came over to me. So do I have to remind you that this was supposed to be a friendly drink? This could have been avoided if I just made a scene, if I just stood up and walked away from him or something. I don't know. I could have done something. The red flags were there, but sometimes we tend to oversee the red flags because we want to think that people are not assholes. So if you see any red flags, just please don't take any risks, because this was a very traumatic night for me. And unfortunately, this guy literally didn't see anything wrong in his behavior. He kept trying to get me to come over to his place to play games. He kept trying to text me, to speak to me at work. I kid you not, like up to 3.5 years after all of this happened, and he would still keep like texting me every once in a while just to see how I am. Am I interested in playing some games with him? Am I still single, or am I still in a relationship? He was always kind of like lurking, lingering in the background, hoping that I'm gonna change my mind. So like obviously him inviting me to play games online or in real life was just an excuse for him to try and get me to be alone with him. I don't even want to think what would happen if I got into that situation with him, like alone with him. Okay, I think I've said enough about this first one. Just please, if you are being sexually harassed by a coworker, someone in your school, anyone, anywhere, just please tell someone. It's not your fault. There's nothing to be embarrassed or ashamed of. It's literally not your fault. You need to speak to someone. You need to tell someone what's going on, and you need to get this person to stop. Story number 2 is the car chase. I think I mentioned this on one of my Instagram stories. I was literally followed / chased in a car once. So yeah, let's get into that one. I'm slowly getting a headache. I was around 20 years old when this happened. I was literally on a date with someone. This city was like an hour away with a car from where I used to live. It was nothing serious. It was just the beginning, like maybe second date or something like that. So him and we went to get some drinks in a coffee shop. It was summer, so there was a lot of people. Everyone was sitting outside. After the drinks, we went for a walk. This was kind of like excluded from the public, but there was still people around. You know, it's just a walk like next to the river. And then we spent some time sitting on a bench, whatever. I wouldn't even call it a date, but it was an unsuccessful date. So there was no chemistry, no sparks between us. So we spent most of the night just talking. I did not notice anything suspicious. I did not notice any people around us. My eyes literally starting to twitch because this is probably one of the most scary things that happened to me. It's not even the worst thing that happened to me in my life, unfortunately, but yeah, it was pretty scary and dangerous. So I was driving home. It was around 11 p.m. There was barely any cars on the road, and I noticed car lights behind me in the distance, and this car was behind me the whole time. Now I was kind of speeding, so Like, there was no reason for him to try and overtake me, whatever. I didn't take any notice of it. It was just a car. So the thing is, he kind of kept like too close to me, and I don't know, I just really don't like when a car is literally glued onto the back of my car. Like, but if I have to push the brakes really sudden, like, it just make me so uncomfortable, so nervous. So I kind of slowed down, and I was hoping that he was going to overtake me. However, whenever I would slow down, he would slow down as well. Didn't take any notice, whatever. After a while, when I really slowed down, he did overtake me. So I was like, right, I'm just being paranoid. We were on the 2 tracks going into 1 track, and he was in front of me and I was behind. You can't see, but he was in front of me, I was behind, so my track was going into his, and he drastically slows down so that I didn't have any choice. I had to pass by him and then go in front of him again, right? I hope this makes sense. This was when I was like, okay, like, what is this dude doing? I could see that it was a man driving, but I couldn't really see his face. I didn't recognize the car or anything. I took a note of his reg plates, and he stayed behind me throughout the city, all the same turns, everything. So I was like, well, maybe he's someone from the village, right? I was still trying to tell myself that it's not a creepy situation. Another note here would be to always trust your instincts. I know how to smell bad people, but for some reason I just keep trying to believe that people are not bad, regardless if it's about a certain person or a certain situation. If you feel weird, if your instincts are telling you that something is weird, act on it. I'm gonna try to explain this. So there is a shorter way to get to the road to my village. So this is the shortcut, this is the longer way. It just circles around and comes back to the same road, right? I don't remember what I did, but I tried to trick him into getting in front of me, and he did. So we were at the red lights before the shortcut and the long way. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let him go the short way. I'm just gonna buy some time. I'm gonna go the longer way. He's gonna lose me. If it was a creep or no, the situation's gonna be done and over with. So he goes straight on the shortcut. I did not turn my indicators on until the very last minute because I wanted to see him go the short way. So right at the last minute, I turn on my indicators, I go right, and I'm like, whew, you know, okay, I did well. I was so proud of myself. He went straight. That's it. This is like a 5-minute drive around in a circle to get back to the road towards my village. Are you ready? I go back to the same shortcut, right? The main road that goes towards my village. And I see a car parked on the side of the road. Lights were still on. He was just parked, waiting. I pass by the car. I look back in the mirror and I see the car starting to drive after me again. And it's the same freaking car. And this was the moment when it hit me. He wasn't even trying to hide that he was following me. My hands are kind of starting to shake. Like, I'm getting a little bit emotional because, like I said, this was very, very scary. I know this was dangerous, especially what I did next. What was going through my head is, if this person knows where I live, both me and my family are probably in trouble because you don't know how crazy this person is. The adrenaline just kicked in and I was driving like 170 or 180. It was pitch dark. I'm very lucky that no animal was anywhere on the road. So I was speeding the whole way. Luckily, I kind of like got away from him, and while speeding, I called my mom and I was like, Mom, there's literally a car following me. So I was like, open the driveway for me, keep all the lights in the yard off, and just wait for me to get back. I kind of did get like some space in between us. I think he did not expect me to start speeding like a maniac. I could still see his lights behind me the whole way through, so he was trying to keep up. So I rushed into the village. I sped through my village as well. I never got my car into the yard and into the garage so quick. I'm getting so red because this is so stressful. The creepy dude lost me along the way. We did find out where this person lives. We did find out his name. This was not someone I was aware of. This was not someone who I've never heard the name, never seen the guy. So I don't know if this was a random. Was he following me the whole night, or did he just see me in a car and decided to be a creep? I kind of had an issue with a stalker slash a complete psycho person when I was 19. So this person could easily be associated with the stalker. Last story is literally just some creepy dude in Dublin. So I was working a late shift in the shop. I was going back from work. It was around 10 p.m. I was waiting for my bus on the bus station. There was a lot of people on the bus station, and this was in the city center as well. And this older guy in a suit is walking towards the bus station, and he kind of like looks at me and he stops, and I had my headphones in, so I couldn't hear anything, and he was talking to me. And you know when you're like, excuse me? And this guy starts asking me like, were you at my conference earlier today? And I'm like, no. And he started saying how there was this redhead girl in his conference and she kept asking questions and I look like her. I start putting back my headphone in, but he keeps talking. He's working in a company that like builds hotels, basically just implying how rich and successful he is. Mind you, when I say an older person, I mean he's literally older than my dad. He could be my grandpa. So he started chit-chatting me, and this is again a thing that could have been easily avoided. I was trying to be polite to him. I thought, well, this is a lonely man just trying to speak to someone, maybe, you know, whatever. So I kind of let him speak. I wasn't really talking back or anything. So he asked me where I work, stuff like that. I kind of lied. I mean, I said I was in retail, but I wouldn't tell him where. So he said, oh yeah, like, do you want to give me your CV so I can see if we have anything that would suit you in my company? And this is so stupid. Like, I know I should have known this was a lie, but like I said, this was only when I came to Dublin. I was naive. I thought people are nice. I don't know. But anyway, I was like, oh my god, yeah, sure, I'll send you my CV. But he never asked for my email or anything. This was literally just look, I'm so successful, I'm rich, I can give you a job, so you need to give me something in return. This was basically what this was. And soon enough, he actually asked me to go grab a cup of tea with him. It was after 10 p.m. There was nothing open. This was so creepy. I think he might have said, do you want to grab a cup of tea in my hotel lobby or something? Something very creepy. And I was like, yeah, no, sorry. This dude literally had a mini meltdown. He literally did, like, I'm going to do exactly what he did. He literally hit his head like this. Of course not. It was stupid of me to think you would. Like, you know, something like that. And he just walked away. And there was a girl next to me and she was just like, and he just stormed off. I was genuinely concerned that this guy was literally looking for a young victim that night, because this was just, I don't know, is this normal? No, I wouldn't think so. This was literally like, what is going on? Could you not just walk away? So those were my real life creep stories. I really hope that you learned something, that we pulled a moral from these stories. It's like, be extra careful, be extra mindful, especially if you're a woman in the middle of the night. Try to avoid those scenarios. Trust your instincts. Do whatever you can to get away from creepy people. Don't be afraid to cause a scene if someone is harassing you. Just don't be afraid to stand up for yourself. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed the stories. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like and subscribe for more content from me. Don't forget to check me out on social media. My Instagram and TikTok handle is Eva_Matea. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.